Good Tuesday morning prospect. This morning, I want to only talk to those of you who are imperfect. So, all of you who have reached perfection, you can go ahead and skip today's blog and we won't worry about it. I'll give you a second to go ahead and find something else. Okay. There is I'm not even sure how to properly say it, but there's a squabble going on in big church pastors and big church pastoral thinking. A fellow named Steve Furtick, who honestly I don't know. I don't know that I ever heard of him till the squabble came out. During a sermon and then a subsequent Facebook post, he said that God doesn't change us into something else. He reveals what we've always been. And I read it and I didn't have a problem with that because I absolutely believe that God, when you accept Jesus Christ, if you're a painter, you're not going to become a ballerina or whatever, but the people, there are people calling Steve Furtick a heretic, and it's for this reason. They're quoting 2 Corinthians 5, 17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone, the new has come. And the way I see this is that, and I've heard this from other people, and if you know where this comes from, I'm not trying to take a stance, but I like the way it's phrased and I like the thinking. People become trapped in the prison of two ideas. You're either for it or against it. You're either pro or you're con. Both of what these people said are true. When you are in Christ, you are a new creature. You are made new in the courtroom of God. You are no longer the guilty person you were. You are a new person. But I will also promise you, if you are on death row and you have a sincere encounter with the risen Christ and you have given your life over to Him, you are absolutely saved from just about everything except the electric chair. Being a new creature, being a new creation does not mean that you're a different person. It means you are different in the eyes of God. And so I reject the either or, because both of these are true. When I first accepted Christ, I thought that I was going to become something that I wasn't. And I never did become something that I wasn't. We are all created in the image of God. And there are people that God uses that are 4,000 grit sandpaper that are designed to polish and make something shine. And there are people that God made that are hammers. And if you need a hammer, 400 grit sandpaper will not do. There are times and places in this world where you need a hammer. There are times and places you need a screwdriver. Put it very simply, if you keep stubbing your toe on a nail that sticks up, you don't want to go polish the nail. It needs to be driven into the floor. so I am and have rejected there is a call to reject this pastor as a heretic, that he is a false teacher. No, he's not. When you become a Christian, you become a new creature in God's eyes and in Christ, and the old creature has passed away. But I was a mechanic at one point in life. I wouldn't have quit being a mechanic when I became a Christian. So I have a very dear friend who is an extremely good welder. He worked at the railroad. He is an exceptional pastor in South Georgia. He's still a good welder, and he doesn't try to help people paint houses. But if there's something in your house that needs to be welded, if you've got a machine that's broken, I promise you, he's the person you need to go to. He can fix it. So we need to reject this either or, because God sees us all differently than we see ourselves. And we need to try to learn to see each other with God's eyes, because in God's eyes, we are all created in His image. But each of us has a particular skill set. Those things don't change. And so when we become Christian, we become more fully the human being that God sees when God looks at us already. I hope you can see what I'm trying to say. I will tell you that we don't have to agree on this. I'd love to hear from you if you don't agree with me. I'm not going to argue with you, but I'd love to hear what you're thinking. My thinking is that there is room for both ideas to be right. And grace needs to be the measure. Grace needs to be the standard by which we measure things. Prospect, have a blessed day.